Your Excellency, Dennis Francis, President of the 78th session of the UN General Assembly. Your Excellency, Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations. Your Majesties, Your Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, before my remarks, I would like to express my heartfelt condolences to the people of the Kingdom of Morocco and the Republic of Libya who have lost their loved ones in the recent natural calamities. South Sudan stands in solidarity with them during this difficult moment in their respective countries. Excellencies, on behalf of the people and government of the Republic of South Sudan, I stand before you today to reaffirm our commitment to world peace and security. We are committed to global efforts aimed at addressing challenges that we face as a human family. We are also committed to multilateralism and international cooperation as the best means of achieving our shared aspirations. Within this context, we are hopeful that together we can rebuild trust among member states and reignite global solidarity on the basis of sovereign equality of all states as enshrined in the founding charter of this esteemed organization. Excellencies, we recognize the urgency of challenges before us. We are also aware of concerted action required to address these challenges in order to ensure a better future for the coming generations. To this effect, South Sudan has developed sustainable development goals, rescue plan with the focus on 7 SDG targets. This plan provides a roadmap of a better future for our people. And given that education is the key that will allow us to achieve our SDGs rapidly, I am pleased to report that South Sudan has made some progress in its education sector. Since our independence in 2011. Our Constitution, for example, guarantees all children free access to education. We have also designated education as a human right of every child. In February this year, I directed the Ministry of Education to implement free primary and secondary education policy across the country. This policy has directly led to enrollment of 2.3 million children in our schools. To ensure that girls stay in schools, we have banned child marriages through an act of parliament. More importantly, we have increased education budget with the goal of paying teachers a living wage. In the health sector, we plan to dedicate resources towards providing affordable and standard health care. And this will be done through primary health care approach that is inclusive and cost-effective. Excellencies, on climate change, South Sudan is dedicated to addressing its adverse impact. We plan to prioritize sustainable and use sustainable land use, promote renewable energy, and collaborate with international partners to reduce carbon emissions and protect our environment for generations to come. While working on this, it is only fair for us to call upon developed countries to cut their emission by 45% and honor their pledges of availing funds for mitigation, adaptation, and loss and damage to the developing countries. With the recently concluded Africa Climate Summit held in Nairobi, Kenya, it is high time that the declaration of the summit forms the new crisis for rebuilding trust and regaining global solidarity for attaining the 2030 Agenda. Excellencies, We acknowledge the political, humanitarian, and security challenges we have faced as a country since 2013. However, we have turned the corner with the signing of the revitalized peace agreement in 2018. Now we are determined to build on the commitments of our revised national development strategy 2021 to 2024 to consolidate peace and stabilize the economy. Ongoing public, financial, management reforms and recently concluded National Economic Conference from solid basis for sound management of public resources for the benefit of our citizens. What remains now is to fast-track the implementation of the remaining provisions in the agreement in order to conclude the transitional period peacefully through fair, transparent, and credible elections in 2024. We have also managed to engage in dialogue and consultation with the various stakeholders, including civil society, women, youth, traditional leaders, and opposition groups to ensure that our peace process is owned and driven by our own people. As we move in this direction, we call upon the United Nations to lift the arms embargo imposed on us to aid peace implementation and to secure the elections. The arms embargo has impeded the implementation of security arrangements because effective deployment of the unified forces which we have graduated cannot happen without arms. Excellencies, as the country sharing the border with the Republic of Sudan, South Sudan has received thousands of Sudanese refugees and our returnees since the conflict broke out in the Sudan in April 2023. This influx has overwhelmed our border communities and created a humanitarian crisis. I'm appealing to the international community to avail resources to help refugees and displaced persons who crossed into South Sudan. While the world is dealing with multiple crises, we call for a provision of sustained support to these displaced persons as we work on how to restore peace and stability in Sudan. In closing, South Sudan stands before this esteemed assembly as a resolute partner in the collective pursuits of a better future for all. I extend our hand of friendship to fellow member states, international organizations, and civil society. Thank you very much.